There we go. We're back again, again,
This
again.
will definitely be more than one episode. This is like 3 episodes.
You know
'Cause I'm
what though? Every time Zoom cuts us off will just be the end of the episode. We'll go
I
to the
kinda
next
like
one.
that. Heads up
Perfect.
before you listen, it's just
Yeah.
gonna cut off.
Yeah, no, I like to keep things organic and very limited editing, so people know what they're in for.
Fair enough.
So yeah, moms need to work on themselves before they have kids,
Yeah.
or don't have kids at all if they choose that.
Yeah, giving
Can't
themselves
keep them
space
in.
to be who they wanna be.
Yeah. I always wanted to be a mom. Like,
Yeah,
since I was a child, I wanted to be a mom. So I
yeah.
knew I wanted to be a mom. I just didn't know I was mentally unfit. And
Surprise!
I should have known, but the point is I am in a much better headspace now. So yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it is. It is good. It's nicer, you know? And because he has anxiety and stuff too. So there are times when he was little, he gets it from me clearly, but he'll ramble. He's a talker, obviously, and I get overwhelmed really fast. And when he was little, I used to tell him that I need a brain break. And I would be like, this isn't you. My brain can't keep up, and I need a minute to process everything you just said. And so now that he's older, I'll be like, I'm really overwhelmed. Let me just cook dinner with my headphones on and please stop asking me questions.
Yeah,
Right? So we have like a really good line of communication when it comes to that kind of stuff. But and I'll be like, you need to really work on catastrophizing because I can't walk on eggshells every time you miss one question on a test,
yeah,
you know? So he's like he's really open to working on it too. And he's like really self-aware and emotionally mature. So
that's
maybe
helpful
yeah, maybe having a sick mom pays off in the
in some ways.
long. So, how do you wanna end this, my friend?
Well, the last thing you had sent me was about positivity, and, like,
Positivity.
how do I stay positive through it, through the journey?
I th Did we talk about that already?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's go for it. Who's
Um,
running the show?
I'm not yeah, Brent, I take things over, I gotta be honest. At work, we have these weekly meetings, and I'm not even so there's a director, right?
Mhm.
Like, and I just take over. I'm like, "Okay, now we're moving on to the next thing. We got a limited amount of time, let's go." So I tend to take over a room. So that's just who I am.
At
Um,
one of at one of my last daycares, we would have meetings after the daycare closed, and I would always get so mad because I just wanna go home at the end of the day. This was, before building up to becoming very, very sick, the
mhm.
signs were glaring and I ignored them. Anyways, and before the meeting, I would go to everybody and I'd be like, "Don't ask any questions. Keep your opinions to yourself. Nobody's saying anything. Just get the information so we can leave." And I would raise my hand 100 times during the meeting, and I'd always have something to say, and I'd have a million questions to ask every time. They'd
Well,
be
you
like,
should be
"Nina."
talking to yourself, not to all these other people.
And, the next meeting, they'd be like, "Nina, don't ask any questions. Keep your to yourself." And I'm like, "I try so hard." Ah,
It just
so
comes out.
I can't help it. You know, I think because another thing too is I really like to relate in conversation. Like that reminds me of something I went through. And, like I said before, it's not in like a competition way. It's just in I think an empathy way,
Mhm,
to get the point across that I get it in some realm, right? And when I decided that this season I wanted to be talking to other people, every time I'm like, keep your mouth shut. Don't take over the conversation. Stop centering yourself. And here we are.
so when you had messaged me, "Oh, we should co-host," and, like, other people, talk about their grief, I was like, "Yeah," then I was thinking they wouldn't have, like, space to talk. Like, what the fuck would they talk?
We
They'd
would
be
just have
like,
to
"Oh,
mute
wow, there's
ourselves.
a 3rd person here."
We would have to get the guest to be the host of the Zoom call so they can unmute us when they want us to chime in.
What? That's not a horrible idea.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
How do you keep positive during the hard
positivity.
times?
So, I don't really like positivity.
Mhm,
I gotta be honest. So, in my eyes, I get through it because I did the work,
mhm,
not because, "Hey, things are gonna get better," and, the positive shit, like, that's not what got me through.
yeah,
So, I don't that's not even it's not even part of the equation.
mhm, mhm,
Should I have more positivity? Maybe, but it's just never something that's come naturally to me.
mhm,
And, like, when you're not doing well, it's like, you want me to not do well, and you want me to, like, think positively? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, you
yeah,
want me to look at the positive side when I already feel exhausted and like shit? No,
mm,
fuck that. I don't have time, I don't have space, I don't care.
yeah, yeah,
So, I'm not very big on positive. I think what works better for me is knowing that life sometimes sucks a lot, and there's no good reason, and there's no good outcome.
mhm,
And so for me, that's positive, that life and relationships, they're terribly messy. And me being able to understand that they're messy and that a whole bunch of truths can be, true at the same time, and that there's all sorts of possibilities all the time for everything. To me, that's what positivity is. It's like,
yeah,
I am positively looking at the world and seeing what's actually there.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah, and, I ask these questions just because it's like you never know who's listening and who could like need a pep talk, right? But I completely agree with you, especially as somebody who is chronically ill. And it's like you can't good vibes chronic illness away.
I'm sorry, but hashtag people don't even do that anymore, but hashtag good vibes is not going to make me put away my knives.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just not.
And it's like when someone has good intentions and they're like, oh, but at least you did a load of laundry today. If I wasn't chronically ill, I'd have to do the fucking laundry anyways. So, no, that's not a bright side, you know? In this moment, I might be sitting upright or cooking dinner or going for a walk, but that doesn't mean I feel good.
Yeah.
And suppressing just my dog's stretching it. Bosco, you're so
Is your dog holding the phone? The computer?
it's my laptop is kinda he's laying, like, almost under it. He's a very big dog. He takes up the whole bed. Anyways, in this moment, like, I might be doing something functional, like, typically functional, but that doesn't mean that it's A, not hard, and B, I'd rather be fucking in bed right now, right?
Yeah.
So, looking on the bright side of completing a mundane task is not going to help me feel better. Thinking that going for a brisk walk and getting some vitamin D is going to cure me is not going to make me feel better.
Yeah.
But I still really appreciate like the simple joys in life. I ride my scooter on a trail. I live kind of on the Coquitlam River and I ride a trail most of my way to work. And it's just like so beautiful. And, like, that makes me feel happy, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to change my circumstances, but look at that beautiful sunshine. I don't do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Appreciating the outdoors is not the cure for fibromyalgia or
Yeah.
bipolar, right?
Yeah.
It's something to give you a little spark of it's basically just different scenery.
Same body, different scenery.
Now I'm outside. Right?
I think a lot of people when they have that positive thing and, when people are close to me, I try and drill that out pretty fast. It's like, "I know what you're doing. Let's not. This is
Yeah.
just." 'Cause then I have to work harder. I have to work harder to match you when I'm
Mhm.
already exhausted. So
Yeah.
you can feel these and think these things, but away from me.
Yeah.
So I end that pretty fast with most people who are around me a lot. But I think part of it is that, especially now when there's constant ways to distract yourself, like with your phone and with TV and with, the world falling apart and stuff like that, people aren't able to really sit in discomfort.
Mhm.
And so if I'm in a discomfort level of 150 and the person who's next to me can only go to 30, that's what they have to offer. They're
Yeah.
like, "I can't go to where you are, but I feel like I gotta do something. So my 30 is, why don't you go out for a walk?"
Mhm.
So I think that a lot of it's ability. It's like, I wanna, like, because sometimes I think they're like, "I wanna go there with you." Like, I want to sit in that awful with you, but I'm 30 and you're 150, and there's no way I can gap that.
Yeah. But, like, that's the thing though is, like, if my discomfort is so uncomfortable for you to witness, then leave the room.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to get me to be at your 30 comfortably, leave me alone because
Yeah.
you're offering nothing of value and it's actually demeaning and disrespectful and invalidating to assume that it's that easy for me to turn off my chronic illness and just join you in the real world, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the complete opposite of being helpful or inspiring. It's infuriating, I find.
Yeah, like, if you can find someone who can sit in the messiness with you, even if so Kevin can't go to 150,
Mhm.
right? He has not had to gone through what I went through. I also had a lot of, like, childhood trauma that I'm going to
Mm.
counseling for soon, which is gonna suck ass, but
Oh god,
I
it does. I've been there.
shut up!
I'm sorry. Oh, Brandy, we might have to take this conversation offline. Oh, it's hard. It's hard.
Like, I've done so much counseling with verbal, but this is, like, embodied, right? This is, like, when you're 7 or 9 and stuff like anyway.
I
So
just
that's good to know that it's more horrible than I thought.
it's
Anywho,
it's really hard. Here's the thing. Again, I'm hijacking the conversation. I'm sorry.
that's okay.
This is what I suggest. Again, it's a simple suggestion. It's not that I'm an expert. You need to be incredibly transparent. I know this is easy for you with your partner and say like and you're not going to jump right into it unless the plan is to just tear the band-aid off,
No.
but say there are going to be things that come up that I don't even know about when I
Yeah.
leave the house, right? And I am going to need this. For me, it was space. For me, it was I would disassociate for like a week sometimes after therapy
Oh.
because realizing that the story that you're unpacking is your fucking story completely like takes like rips the rug from right underneath you, and then having to understand that it's like you don't have to identify with that story, but it is a piece of you is really hard to kind of reconcile in your brain, especially when it's something that like you don't want anything to do with.
Yeah.
So if you need space, if that's what helps you, again, like you have like your already care plans, you might have to like revisit those things because it affects you in ways that you're not expecting and it affects you in ways that just kind of take over, you know? and it's I wasn't expecting to, like I said, to completely disassociate, almost to the point of, like, derealization where, like, everything felt like a simulation
Yeah.
and nothing felt real, and, it was a little bit not scary because I understood what was happening, because again, like, I like to know how brains work, and I just do my own I do your own research, not in a MAGA way, but, I've always been interested in psychology and stuff, right? So I understood what was happening, so I wasn't, like, really scared, but it's almost like an out of body thing, and I feel like it's a pull between, like, your brain trying to protect you and coming to terms with the reality of the situation. So just really be prepared for, like, I might need this, I might need that. Ice cream helps, and, like
Ice cream always helps. Chocolate always helps. Doesn't matter the situation.
like, a blanket and a hug, you know?
Wow, that sounds low maintenance. I feel like I'm much more high maintenance than that. I feel like Kevin
But
just
again,
have to sit with me through the awfulness.
that's
Um,
just like what I was also in an environment that it wasn't fully understood, and it was like, "Well, you're
not
unpacking
safe.
therapy, why aren't you better?" And it's like, because 'cause I'm
Yeah.
never gonna be fucking better." This is always gonna affect me, right?
Yeah.
I need to learn now how to live through it for the rest of my life, and this is the process for me, and, like, I shut down, and, like, I didn't talk to anybody. I would come home and go to bed and lay in bed and in the dark, sometimes just in my clothes, just
Yeah.
lay in my clothes like a fucking zombie until the next day was there, and I'd be like, "Where am I?" Right? Like, it was crazy. It was crazy, and now, like, I've come to terms with everything, and it's still you have your ups and downs and stuff, but
Like, I've dealt with some of it. I dealt with my dad leaving when I was young and, like, some of his behaviors, but it's more gonna be stepfather stuff. What it was like to
mhm.
live with him. My concern and her concern, because I did a brief meeting with the counselor, is not triggering my bipolar.
That's kind of, like, where my brain went to because it's
Yeah.
disassociative and it's really deep internal shit that, like, you don't feel like you can control, right?
And it's so body related now because I don't have the memories. I
Yeah.
don't remember, and I don't even think the point is to remember. I think it's
Mhm.
for my body's nervous system
Yep.
to be able to, calm itself in all of the truth and all of the darkness and all
Yep.
of the pain so
Mhm.
that I'm not constantly searching for someone else to take care of that.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And she had mentioned EMDR, and I said, "Okay, here's the thing about that." I did a little research, and that can make you go hypomanic, and as we go into spring, that's also a high it's happening.
Yeah.
So, I was like, "So we're not gonna try that, especially right away," and she said, "We're gonna have to go slow, and there's gonna have to be a lot of grounding," and
Yeah.
I said, "That's good," and I already do a ton of grounding, but it was funny because she's like, "So why are you doing it now?" And I was like, "Because the pain of how it hijacks my life is, like, worse than the fear of how bad it's gonna be. I'm just at that point, and I'm
Yeah.
stable enough now in my life and in my world to be able to do it.
Mhm.
There's definitely fear, and I really like control and structure, and a lot of
Me
it's not
too.
controlled or structured.
I have a feeling we have some of the same childhood traumas.
Anyway, the whole point of why I started that is even Kevin, like, if I'm at 150, he hasn't been there, right? So say he's at say then like a regular average person is at 50. He can probably do and come down to 100. Like, he can sit in that.
Mhm.
He can watch me in 150. He can hold space. But there's no relation there, right? There's nothing in him that can go, "Oh, you are going through childhood trauma and having to figure out bipolar on your own." Like, who has that, right? I'm not gonna go to work and be like, "Oh, look, someone who can reach the deepest pain with me," right? It's just not fucking there. It is just not there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so it's like he can sit in a lot more pain than most people and a discomfort. So he doesn't use that positive stuff because he can sit in it with me. But if someone's at a 30, they're not gonna fucking sit with me in 150.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, distraction, I need out, I can't breathe, how do I stop this? Just make this shit end and let me go back to my life.
Yeah. And that's why I said they can just leave the room then.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
be in 150 by myself because I would rather be at 150 by myself than you trying to pull me up to 30 with well wishes and, shallow fucking proverbs. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't need that. That's making me go to like 175.
yeah.
Get the fuck out.
And I'm hoping with the some of the trauma work that my basis won't be 150.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out of, and with my bipolar, say it was 150 10, 15 years ago, I would say it's 75 now. Like it's
Mhm.
right? So that's what I wanna do with the trauma is if I can boost both numbers closer to 100, then my life is gonna be so much easier.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, when I was talking to the trauma person, and this is related to grief because it's, dealing with trauma or with chronic illness is because you're grieving a life you wanna live.
Yeah.
And so you have to do the work to get to the life you wanna live. And I said, "The moment that I finally decided that it's time to do this trauma work," because I was working my way towards it and waiting for Kevin's insurance to kick in because it's fucking
Mhm.
expensive. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like $200 for, like, not even an hour. It's like
Because it's like I think it's 50 minutes, like,
yeah.
Canada standards changed that you it's less time now that you get with a therapist. So
Yeah,
that's fun.
yeah, that just makes everything easier. But
Yeah, and it's like it's very, very expensive.
yeah, it's not cheap. Like, insurance will probably cover 5.
Yep,
5 of
that's what mine covered about 5 sessions as well.
and then it would cover Kevin for 5, and then but if we want couples counseling anyway, whatever. But I think the because okay, so I think I've mentioned this before, Kevin had found out that he got this gig with this country band, even though he doesn't like country very much, or he hasn't played it much, right? So he doesn't
Yeah,
have a connection to it really. All I wanted to be was excited for him. Like, one of my huge values in life is reaching your dreams, whatever they are, no matter what you have to do. So I will do anything to help create space for Kevin to live his dream. I will do
mhm,
anything. And in that moment, panic took over. Like I could feel my nervous system just like I started shaking, like I couldn't breathe. Like I was watching myself going, this is the shittiest time for you to do this. Just stop it." And, right, that makes it worse. So then I'm just like, "Okay, I'll just fucking sit through this until it's over." But all I wanted to be was excited, right? He's such an amazing partner. All I want to do, like 150% of me just wants to support him and be like, "Man, we'll figure this out. We'll figure out how to stay close. We'll figure out how to keep communicating. Like, we'll build this new life." And oh my God, all of me at a cellular level wanted to show up like, "We got this. We're gonna do everything we can. Let's do this. This is amazing." And I was like, "This is amazing. I'm so proud, and I'm fucking terrified." So that had to come into the conversation. That was now, these are some of my boundaries. This is I need to have 2 weekend nights. Like, I had to start creating structure instead of being able to celebrate.
yeah,
And so that was the moment where I was like, "This has to stop hijacking my life
mhm,
because this is now affecting, I can see how much this is affecting my partner, and he's done so much for me, like, I need to be able to create this space for him."
yeah,
So, it was grief. There was so much grief because I was like, "I hate who I am right now. I hate who I am." Like I was so angry in that moment because I was so not who I wanted to show up as.
Mhm,
And there is so much grief in that because there's like it's not like I said to him, I was gonna say, "I'm sorry," but then it's like, on the other hand, but I'm not sorry because this isn't my fault. I'm sorry this is how I'm showing up and how it's affecting you, but I can't be sorry anymore, but that this is who I am.
mhm, yep,
So that's why there's grief in that. There's like, I have to now separate it. Like, I'm sorry that this is affecting you, but I'm this is who I am. And this is stuff I'm still working through, and this is stuff that hopefully fucking hope to God will improve, but there is grief in that.
I will say that my experience with unpacking childhood trauma,
Yeah.
it really didn't take me a long time.
Okay. Can you finish
Like,
it in 5? Because that's how much I'm covered. Like, how do I structure it? Is so each time do I do 20% of the
you
trauma? So that
finish it in 5.
I have 5. We gotta finish 5.
You know what? With your psychology background and stuff, maybe 10. Maybe 10. But I think we unpacked it in a few months, I'm gonna say, and then I quit working because I am horribly disabled. Not like I can walk, but I don't want to. So couldn't afford to pay for it anymore, and I wasn't expecting anybody else to pay for it for me, right? So I had to quit, and then I kind of just, like, did it all sort of on my own after that, and again, I don't have, like, certificate experience in psychology and stuff, but I know a lot about this shit. Again, I think that kinda goes hand in hand with, like, true crime stuff. You just kinda deep dive into how brains work, right? So it didn't take a long time. I have my moments sometimes still, but and I'm sure on a physiological level, there's still a lot of regulation I can do, especially since I'm sick and it's nervous system shit,
Yeah.
right? But as far as functioning and who who I am on the other side of it is a completely different person than who I was before I started unpacking it.
Okay.
Even in that, like, a short amount of time with all the disassociation and derealization and depression. Mm, yeah, I think
I'm gonna
that it
make you
was
sign a document, and I'm gonna get it notarized, and I'm gonna bring it to my new therapist, and be like, "This." So, everything that you do it was really funny because our short conversation, she's like, "Well, what's your experience with therapy before?" And I said, "Here's the thing, I was almost always ahead of my therapist." I'd be like, "This is what she's gonna ask. This is what I'm gonna answer." I said, "And so I'm coming to you not trusting people very much, just so you know that information, and, the only reason I'm doing it is because it's way worse not to do it than it is to go through the awfulness of doing it." But, yeah, like, once you do enough therapy and work on yourself, it's like, sometimes it's not that the counseling doesn't help, but it doesn't lead you.
Mhm,
Like, it can drop you into some moments that are like aha moments, but it doesn't lead you anymore, so I find it becomes less effective,
yep,
where the trauma is much more about being in your body, and that's gonna be a lot.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you know, I think that I definitely still carry a lot of it in my body,
Yeah.
but I am more comfortable with a weak body than I am with a scattered mind, right? That's my personal preference.
Yeah,
So,
that's
I
fair.
I've had a scattered like, my mental health used to I don't know how I'm here today, to be honest. Like, my
Yeah.
mental health my whole life has been I had when I was 8 years old, I started compulsively pulling my hair out. and I
That's
had,
like
like, a
tit tree.
trichotillomania. I
Yeah.
do my eyebrows now as an adult. Ugh, but it's not as bad as it used to be, so, like, I still have these things that I definitely need to work through, but, I can see that I'm progressing, and I can see that I'm getting better compared to where I was even a year ago, right? Where I was 2 years ago, I feel like a completely different person, and I think that I said this the first time we talked, that how I've been able to keep it together through all of this physical health stuff, I think is an attribute to all the work that I've done for my mental health, right? And I don't know if now everything, like all my trauma is just manifesting in my body instead of in my brain. The thing is I agree with that kind of stuff to a certain extent, right? Do I have a nervous system disorder? I don't know. I really don't. Do I think fibromyalgia or whatever I'm diagnosed with, I still have a really hard time with that diagnosis. Do I think that that is, like, solely a nervous system disorder? I don't think so, because I am so physical, but my brain is so clear. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's really hard thing to wrap your head around when every and maybe I'm delusional. Maybe I'm fucked,
Well, if
you
it gets
know?
you through.
And maybe I'm fucked and I do have fibromyalgia. I don't know. I feel like I have been so disconnected brain and body wise that I was uncomfortable in my own skin, and it was like my insides were. Do you remember when you said the thing about being in a mixed state, and I said that's like sticky hands in my brain? That's what my whole body, like, I was a sensory nightmare. My whole body was sticky hands, and I was uncomfortable just being present in any moment, and I don't feel that anymore. So, that's why sometimes I have a problem thinking that, whatever's going on in my body is all brain related, because I feel like I've progressed so much,
Yeah.
and as hard as it was working through the childhood stuff, it is so worth it because I feel so much more comfortable in emotionally in my body, you know?
I think
So,
for me, it'll be feeling comfortably emotionally in my relationships, because that's where it shows up for me. Like, I'm hyper vigilant. Holy shit, am I hyper vigilant. So, if I feel like so the other day, okay, every Sunday, me and Kevin explore something in spirituality because that's something that we're looking at, right? And we had done a PowerPoint. So we each took a subject. I did voodoo because I want to
mhm,
learn more. Yeah. And he did Wiccan. And we did PowerPoints, like 5-10 minutes PowerPoints, and we brought them together, right? And we were watching them when we talked about it. And then, like, we were in a good moment, like, we were in a connected moment. And then, life and heavy stuff came up that was, like, in a different part of life. And that disconnection to me felt like I am now abandoned.
mhm,
I'm like, sometimes we connect so well and just this intensity and just this, like, we are by ourselves in this world and everything else has gone away and such deep eye contact. And it's just like if you were outside of us, you could feel the energy, right? And then, like, a week later, I'm like, "Oh my god, we are totally disconnected. I am abandoned. I am lonely. We are never going to connect again." And this is like, I'm gonna say 95% chance that this is childhood stuff.
yeah,
This is not based on present circumstances,
yeah,
and I'll
no,
say that to him. I'll be like
absolutely not.
I understand that my reaction does not equal the situation,
Mhm,
and it's horrible, but I think that's how the trauma work will help me relationally. It'll stop me from being like, "I need someone to keep me safe." I need a parent. So you need to parent me so that I'm safe and connected all the time. But here's the thing, you have to parent me as a 6-year-old. So I don't know how you're gonna figure that shit out, but you need to get down to my 6-year-old or 8-year-old, age, and you need to do the work now because 'cause I'm tired.
Oh, Brandy, you're gonna be reparenting yourself.
And I've already done so much of that, but this is just, I think, a different level of reparenting. But anyway, that's how I think the trauma work is gonna show up, is like my expectations for connection and my need for depth and intensity, like, it does not equal what happens in the world
Yeah, yeah.
and my
And
expectations.
exactly, and it's so funny how well, not haha funny, but how, like, such a mundane, normal day, for one, can be the most catastrophic event for
Yeah,
somebody who has been through childhood trauma, and it has nothing to do with you. It
yeah.
was probably just a regular day, and you're internalizing it, and, for you, now you're alone, and
I have
Kevin's
a
like,
whole
"I just went to
story.
get some water." Calm down.
Sometimes, like, it's not quite that level of ridiculousness, but it kinda is that level of ridiculousness. Like, I see our relationship through a filter that no one else sees our relationship through. I'm like, "Oh, but it can always be like that nice, like, all we've been through together." It's like, "Yeah, we're a normal couple. This is what couples do." That's the way I see our relationship. And so I'm like, "No, more intensity, more intensity." And so I'm really hoping that the the trauma work will help, because that just leaves him being like, "But I thought we were connecting. Like, I
Yeah,
was there." And he's like, "I saw you there. You were there with me." And then 2 days later, it's like that didn't even happen. It was totally erased. Like, you
yeah,
don't even remember that it happened because it's not constant.
yeah, yeah.
And, like, that's exhausting for him, and he's like, he always shows up and tries. He's like, he just always tries. And
Mhm.
so I hate that, he feels lost.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause he's like, I don't know what to do." Like, he has so many skills. Like, he has more skills than I think most men have, to be told
It
I
sounds like it.
females have.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's like he has all these skills and he's still lost. So at some point it's like, "Oh, this might be on me."
Yeah.
I'm seeing that my expectations of constant, deep, intense intimacy every, couple days for an hour or 2 might not actually be something that can happen,
It's a really high bar.
but in my brain, it's not. In my brain,
Yeah.
it's no, this is what relationships are, and so oh, that face. Yes, I know, it's not. This is what I hear. This is what I hear, and, like, I'm hoping the trauma work will let me. So when I was talking to him, I was like, it's almost like I wanna be able to see through a different filter,
Mhm,
right? Say different glasses, but my eyes are filled with sand. So
mhm,
even if you
mhm.
give me the glasses, like, I can't there's n at this I've done so much work, I've come to a point where I can't do any more of the work.
Yeah,
Psychologically, emotionally, sitting with it, discomfort, all of the tools, I've come to a point where it's below the surface,
yeah.
it's nervous system, and, like, if I don't do that work, I will probably eventually break up, me and Kevin,
Mhm, mhm.
because the awfulness of that feeling of abandonment and loneliness that he's not creating, that was already there. I told him, I said, "If I do all this internal work, like this trauma work, and it doesn't get better, I'm just gonna go numb. Like, I need everyone to know that. I'm just gonna go numb and stop."
Yeah. That's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, though,
And
'cause it
him.
it does it it does take, like I said, I th I don't know if maybe my therapist just gave me really good tools that I could use on my own, and that's why I was able to get through it so fast. I don't know if it's a self-awareness thing, you know? I really do think that you will be able to get through it. Again, the same kind of concern as your therapist with the bipolar thing.
Yeah.
That sounds like it will be very tricky, And like I said, just transparency and maybe making a preemptive game plan based on what you know of yourself when things get tough might be helpful, but it is so worth it. It is so worth it. And especially for your relationship. Like
Yeah.
you told me the most beautiful story of, I know you hate the word resilience in a relationship. I'm over here fucking crying.
It was
And you're like, and I felt abandoned. And I'm like, bitch, what?
like, I know. I was telling my that counselor, right? The quick meeting, and she got teary-eyed. She's like, "Oh, that's amazing." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, it's a Tuesday." Anyway, so I'm really hoping that I can come out being able to look at relationships, like, in an actual, this is actually what happens in the world kind of way.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah.
My
Well,
expectations are way too high. I get that.
but perhaps they're so high because you have been through such intense lows together, right?
Yeah.
Like that you this is just my brain. Like
Yep.
maybe you're not recognizing that you're not feeling that intensity because you have already come so far,
Yeah,
right?
maybe.
Like
Yeah.
maybe it's a testament to how much you have grown and how much you have healed. And
Yeah.
maybe you miss the chaos a little bit because
That's
it gave you that feeling of intensity, right? It's
yeah.
still inner child work, but
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
your inner self, your nervous system doesn't have to rely on chaos to feel loved and taken care of because he can love you through the mundane, boring shit too. Just as intensely, you just don't see it,
Yeah.
right?
My brain just goes, "What? What? What? No. 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 We'll just keep up this intensity for the rest of our lives and make life really harder than it needs to be."
You maybe what you should start doing is like start hiding like clear thumbtacks around the house. So once in a while he'll step on one and then it's like chaos. And then you get that hit of adrenaline and intensity that you need. And then next time it could be like, I don't know, a tiny shard of glass or, just like throw it in the bed.
Starting to feel like one of those murder documentaries. It starts with the thumbtack, and then you're burying him in the desert.
Well, if that's how it goes,
A
I'm
Tuesday.
always on the woman's side. It doesn't matter.
That's funny.
You just need to find a new outlet for the intense connection.
Yeah,
Pain.
and it's like, I get what you're saying, like, once you're how do you match the intensity of someone keeping you alive? On a
Exactly.
Tuesday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon when you're both working, you both have life stressors, like, how do you keep that going? And you can't, and that
Mhm.
is so sad for me
Mhm. Mhm.
because maybe not sad, it's just uncomfortable. It's just uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. I could talk about this for hours, honestly, because 'cause I'm just like, it's uncomfortable because that's what you knew for so long, right?
Yeah.
Like, during this whole process, your life was probably chaotic all the time in
Oh,
big,
yeah.
huge ups and downs, right? And you're doing so much work to heal that the peaks and valleys aren't as high and low, and they're probably spaced out way more too. So you're like, where is it probably gives you like like a dopamine hit almost too, right? Like there's
Well,
probably
literally dopamine and hypomania and stuff, yeah.
it right? So like you're probably you're and this is just me spitballing, but like maybe your nervous system is wired to feel that hit every once in a while. And because it's been drawn out so much, you're seeking it in love instead of chaos now, right? You're expecting the love to feel as intense all the time as the chaos felt, and love doesn't always feel that intense.
And
But it
it's
sounds like you guys do lots of, like, exercises together that bring that connection and that intensity. It's just sitting in the comfort of it when it's time to be a regular sitcom couple.
Yeah, like, going back to the normal, it's hard. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
like, it just feels sometimes just empty. And, like, I know most people look at it and go, "Do you not see what you just had?" And it's like a day later, if they watch it, they're like, "Do you not remember that? Do you not see it?" And I'd be like, I don't." It's like my nervous system doesn't have a memory of it.
Mhm.
It's just like, it's this distant, "Yeah, I think it was there." Like, I think it was there, and my nervous system is like, "Okay, it might have been there, but we need now. We
Yep.
need more
Yeah.
now."
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. My
But,
whole
like,
life, I've just wanted to be alone.
I did too, and then I flipped a lot the other way. But at the same time, sometimes I'm like, "I don't want the intensity." Even though I want the intensity, I don't want the intensity.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so at least there's both dynamics now, like, I can and I watch myself through all of it, right? And I
Mhm.
talk me and him through all of it, and I go, "This is what's going on," or he'll go, "This is your pattern. This is what's showing up." So we have a very, like, good cognitive understanding of the situation, but
Mhm.
now it's just the body work, the somatic
Yeah. Yeah.
somatic? Somatic.
Somatic.
Somatic work.
Yeah, and just, like, understanding, like, where that's rooted and nope, that's all. Understanding where that's rooted
Yeah.
helps so much because and again, like, you might have a vague idea of it, but once you start unpacking it, like I said, there's surprises in there you had no idea were even there, and then you're like, "Oh,
There's definitely
that's why."
some stuff that I'm like, "Really?" Like, I'm not sure if something happened. So there was this man, and he groomed me, like, he was starting to groom me, and I don't think anything happened, but I don't have a memory. So, like, what if I run into things like that? And it's like, "Oh, stuff did happen." It's like, "Oh my god, what do you even do with that?" Right? Because I already have, like, a pretty good idea of what the trauma probably was. I just don't want something like that to show up.
It might.
No, 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 no. Nina? Nina?
I'm sorry.
Nina?
I'm
No.
sorry.
No, I don't actually think that one will, because I think it was stopped.
Okay.
It was stopped before anything happened. But, yeah, definitely nervous about the trauma work.
Be on the lookout for surprises,
Yeah.
and just remind yourself that whatever you find in there, you are not alone, you are supported, you are safe, and none of it was your fault because 'cause you're a fucking kid,
Yeah.
you know? You were a kid, and I think about that a lot sometimes, like, even with the chronic like, the physical chronic illness is, like and maybe this is something I should explore because I've never explored it before, but I said the last time we spoke about how I had endometriosis at 12 years old, and, like, I was a fucking child going through, like, some of the most excruciating pain you can feel as a human being, and, like, that's probably what fucked my nervous system. That's
Probably.
that's why my body is still reacting. Maybe I should look into that and heal, like can you heal physical childhood trauma? Like, your own body?
I don't know.
I'll have to
I don't know.
research
Body's
this.
pretty amazing, the things that the body can do.
Like, it just holds on to it.
It does. It does. But I gotta go shopping soon because I gotta get
Okay.
groceries.
Okay, well, I should probably start sewing these episodes together.
2.5 hours?
But
That's
it's so nice. I
that's like
like it.
if you do half an hour episode, that's 5 episodes.
I can do however long I want them to be.
I know, but if you wanna keep people listening, do not put on a 2.5 hour episode. People will look at that and be like, "Fuck that. Who has 2.5 hours?"
They're gonna be like, "Oh my god, this is Nina rambling on about bullshit for 2.5 hours." No, thank you. I liked it when it was 8 minutes.
saw your other ones, I was like, "Oh, these are a lot shorter than ours."
Yeah. It's just like the other ones are like something pops in my head and I write it out and then I just speak my truth and then I go away, you know? They're like little brain bursts.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, my friend.
Okay.
Well, you have a good day. I'm paying for Zoom now, so we can say goodbye properly without cutting us off. By
Yeah,
the
are you
fourth time we had to redo the meeting, I was like, "I'm just gonna pay for this shit." Stupid.
are you doing anything fun this evening? Anything fun today?
No, it is day 1 of spring break, and I let everybody in this house know that I'm doing absolutely nothing today.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Nice.
I'm excited to continue.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Alright, what about you?
I'm doing groceries, and then me and Kevin are going, do you know Gelt& and Co? It's in Gastown. So, they have live music every night, generally 2 different bands, a lot of duos and stuff because it's a small stage. But tonight we're going for the 7 o'clock one. I don't even know who's playing, it doesn't matter. And then we'll just have dinner there because they have a lot of cool finger foods and stuff.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I like, going out to a pub or a bar or whatever and getting, like, appies because it's, like, girl dinner, but it's acceptable and nobody judges you.
I love Appy's. My lunch
Me
is a bento
too.
box with, like, veggies and cheese and crackers. Like, that's I could eat all my meals like that.
Me too, me too. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so good. Okay, my friend,
Okay.
we will probably talk soon
Oh,
because I like this dynamic we got going on.
well, have a good spring break week of resting.
Thank you. You have a good grocery shop and enjoy your finger foods.
I will enjoy the finger food.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.